If you ever wanted to become a flight attendant, this is your chance. Airlines are hiring like crazy right now, all over the world. It doesn't matter if you're in the States or Canada or Dubai, they're all hiring. Hello, welcome. My name is Charissa and I am a Canadian flight attendant living in the Caribbean, and I blog about island and travel life and now starting to make videos about it. Today I'm going to share 3 of the top questions that recruiters tend to ask flight attendants for their interviews, and my biggest tip of all time to help you answer any question they throw at you. When I was preparing for my interview, I found dozens of other flight attendants who had been through the process and found out what they had been asked in the interviews. I scoured the internet, I went deep into the ancient and updated forums and social media platforms. I watched videos on interviews, I read every article I could find, and I compiled a huge list of potential questions and wrote down answers that would impress the recruiters. I mean, I had a stack of papers, so I would be prepared for any question they would throw at me. Before I get started, please give this video a like. My channel is just a new baby in the YouTube world, so if you're watching, it would mean the world to have your support by subscribing, sharing, or commenting, or liking if you want. So the first thing to understand is that the most airlines have a different interview system, but here's a loose idea of what to expect. They're hiring in large batches, so you show up with dozens of other candidates. You will probably watch them give some sort of presentation or be given a speech, which will just make you anxious, excited, and want the job even more. It's annoying because it's just upping the nerves. Anyway, after that, it's most likely you will go to group interviews. So an example of the questions they might be asking in a group interview is something like,
"You just shut the door on the plane. The pilot got on the speakers and says we have to de-ice because it's probably made in Canada, but a passenger says he's having an asthma attack and he needs to get off the plane now. At the same time, there's a child screaming so loud you can't hear anything very well, and a grandma is begging you for water because she needs her medications, and 6 people are pulling at you because they can't find their seat. Also, you just saw someone throw up."
how do you handle it? So maybe they don't do group interviews exactly like this anymore. Perhaps they ask different kinds of things. However, the point is the same. Regardless of what format or questions that happen in your group interview, this is about teamwork, leadership style, how you prioritize, and also if you delegate. They are watching to see how you speak with each other and how you work with the other people in the group interview. And here is a major bonus tip. Make sure you speak. Bonus points for going first. Do not hide, be confident. Whatever the questions are, jump in. They like initiative, and those who don't speak usually don't get hired because you're not engaging, and that's a team dynamic that just doesn't work. After the group interview, you will have one-on-one interviews. So let's move on to another common question recruiters ask. Question 2. Can you tell me about a negative quality you have? So you need to make it secretly positive. For example, sometimes I pay too much attention to detail, or I spend a little too much time focusing on the customer. Spin it in your favor. Now I'm going to give you my most valuable tip. That is the reason I aced my interview with my airline. The biggest tip I can tell you is the questions are rarely about getting a common sense answer. It's about how you answer and why the question is asked. Knowing what the recruiters are looking for when they ask you the question is the secret. If you understand that, you will be able to give a personable answer to every single one of the questions they fire at you and give them exactly what they are looking for. Let me give you an example of how this works with common question number 3. Can you share a moment where you showed outstanding customer service? Now, this question is where you can brag about yourself without acting like it. Matter-of-factly tell of a time that you created a special memory or deflected a could-be most dreadful situation, but think critically about how the situation reflects on you. Let me give you 2 examples of this typical question. So one answer is great and the other one looks good, but will actually immediately strike you from the list. This is the most common mistake candidates make. Answering a question at face value rather than knowing what they are actually asking. Here's an example. When I was in college, I worked at a coffee shop, and one day a bridal party came through the drive-thru requesting a free drink for the bride-to-be on her wedding day. I asked the shift supervisor and she said, "No, That wasn't the policy of the store, only birthdays. So I relayed the message to the driver and I could hear the happy chatter of the girls die away. They were so unhappy. So in that moment, I decided I could not give a bride a free beverage on the day of her wedding day. So I said, hold on, I'm gonna work something out. And I literally ran to the back room, grabbed my own wallet, and I paid for it myself and wrote a note on the side of the drink wishing her the day of her dream. So at first blush, this looks like an amazing story of excellent customer service and would paint you in the most selfless of lights. But in fact, it's the complete opposite. Here's why it's bad. I may have made a customer's day, but if I shared this story in an interview, this is what they would hear. 1, I don't listen to management and do whatever I want despite instruction. 2, I'm not a team player. 3, I don't follow set rules and legalities. 4, I set up unreal expectations by making customers believe that if they complain enough, that the next time they go to this coffee shop, they will get the same treatment. So this promotes customers' dissatisfaction with the company overall. Surprising, right? Think like an interviewer when you choose the story you'll share. So for the same question, share a moment where you showed outstanding customer service. This is a better story from my same coffee shop, and here's why. I'll tell you after. When I was working at the same coffee shop, a disgruntled man came in asking for a breakfast sandwich. After he had paid, he asked for ketchup, which we didn't have. I politely explained that we didn't have any, to which he started thrashing his arms about. He was screaming, and I mean screaming, at me, and I remained very calm, told him I was very sorry and I understand how you're feeling because I love ketchup too. And I provided him with the option of sriracha sauce or maybe going to the McDonald's just a couple stores down. I spoke in a firm but understanding voice. So it took him a minute or two to cool down, but he left the store very pleasant, content, and happy with his ketchup-less sandwich. And this story is a good example because this is what they hear. 1, I remain level-headed and calm in intense situations. 2, I don't take things personally, the ruin of all good customer service, and I treated him with empathy. Again, I get it, I love ketchup, life is rough. And 3, I offer the customer choice, which is vital, the McDonald's or sriracha. 4, because of my response, the situation was de-escalated and left a customer happy because he had been treated fairly. I didn't just ignore him and leave him simmering. In that moment, I made it my life goal to have him leave the store content because a happy customer is a return customer. And 5, I represented the company well, which is probably the most important point of all. So there are the 3 top questions, and there are other important things to do for the interview, like how you do your hair, your makeup, grooming, your attitude, and how you present yourself, and of course, what to wear. But this video is long enough, so comment below if you have any questions or you want me to make a video about some of the things I didn't get to today. And whatever happens in your interview, remember what's meant for you is there for you. If you have an interview lined up, you're going to do great. Be confident and love the process, and I'm wishing you all the luck in the world. Thank you for watching. Please press like and comment below to say hello, and have a